dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on Friday, March the 1st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Brandon has the Friday off, but we are in fully capable hands with meteorologist Paige Noel this morning. And Paige, this morning, not much going on, but going into the weekend, people should kind of prepare maybe for some snow, sleet, rain, something mixed going on late Sunday.
Yeah, really all of that we have in store for this weekend. But like you said, it's kind of quiet this morning, just dealing with that patchy dense fog like we usually do. You can see that here on our UVA WISE camera over there. You're just seeing some low-lying fog. That'll continue really throughout the morning. Temperatures, they're a little bit chilly. You definitely need that jacket if you're headed out early this morning. Some spots into those low to mid 30s. You'll notice other spots are still into those mid 40s. They're going to continue to cool down throughout the rest of the morning. So if you are headed out, like I said, put the heavier coat on the kids, and you're also going to need a little bit of that rain gear. A scattered rain chances return this afternoon. Will.
Alrighty, Paige, thank you. Well, lately we have seen a lot of little breaks or cracks in the roads become huge problems after this recent heavy rain. Let's take a look at some of them. These are some photos of Kentucky 267 near the Dice community of Perry County. This road, it's closed indefinitely. The road is sinking in and collapsing. We have no idea when it will reopen. There are multiple other areas in the county as well. People living on Sam Campbell Branch say they're having plenty of issues too.
It'll make your heart skip a beat, that's for sure. I just hope they get up and fix it pretty quick, save us some gas. Gas ain't cheap.
Kentucky 267 is closed indefinitely. You can find other road issues on our website over at WYMT.com. Well, for the foreseeable future, US 23 will remain down to one lane both ways. Northbound lanes were closed this past weekend. That is because a mudslide is threatening the road. Crews became concerned about the slide on the top of the hill this past Sunday. Currently, the southbound lanes are used for one lane in each direction. Crews are still trying to figure out a way to safely remove the slide from above the road. Well, a night of unrest turned to a morning of clarity for people in Perry County. Around 7:30 last night, police arrested this man, James McIntosh. Deputies say he is the man who murdered Danny Mullins on Wednesday. Investigators found Mullins along the side of Four Seam Branch Road. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch has reaction from the Chavis community where Mullins grew up.
Grieving a life lost.
Whenever I hear anything of this nature where one human being has taken the life of the other, it's always very saddening.
Called to the Glomar community on Wednesday afternoon, police say James McIntosh shot Danny Mullins 6 times.
We located that person of interest at his place of employment, Wayne Supply and Hazard.
Mullins was arrested Thursday morning. Officials do not suspect a random act of violence, robbery, theft, or that drugs played a part, but say these men were not strangers.
I think it's safe to say they did know each other.
The motive is still unknown. Now family and friends are left with pain and confusion.
Danny's father is our patient, and I know will be probably going through a very rough time, and just my heart goes out to them.
Police say there is heartbreak for every person involved, and the truth will be brought to light.
And we'll work very hard to make sure all the facts for both sides to be brought forward so the truth can come out.
Thinking of each family affected. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, James McIntosh is charged with 1 count of murder and tampering with physical evidence. Meanwhile, a Pike County man deemed the traveling bandit will appear in court March 12th. The case is being tried in federal court in southern Florida. Here is the man federal agents arrested. His name is Jason Lee Robinson. Police say he robbed 7 banks in multiple states, including 1 in Miami. They caught him in Colorado. Robinson does have a history of bank robberies. Well, to Boyd County now, an investigation of the jail has declared that conditions are unconstitutional. The investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice began back in November of 2016. The department's Civil Rights Division says the Boyd County Detention Center's conditions violate several amendment rights. They said that the jail subjected prisoners to excess force through the use of chemical agents, electronic control devices, and restraint chairs. Officials also believe the jail violated prisoners' rights to bodily privacy. Well, an abortion-related bill is moving forward in Frankfurt. It would threaten doctors with prison time if they don't try to save the life of an infant born alive during an abortion. The law would also apply to nurses and other healthcare providers. Senator Whitney Westerfield is sponsoring the bill. He said he doesn't know if infants have been born alive in Kentucky during failed abortions, but he's heard of it happening in other states. Now, a bill to give the FBI more time to do gun background checks has passed the House. The bill stems from the 2015 shooting at a South Carolina church. 9 people died in that shooting. A faulty background check allowed the shooter to buy a gun after the 3-day review period expired. The bill that passed yesterday would extend the background check review period to 10 days. The bills are expected to languish in the Republican-controlled Senate. The White House has also threatened to veto the bill. Well, last night, one Kentucky man is on a mission to help survivors of domestic violence. It's a cause that hits close to home for him. As Angela Reigard reports, it's taking him from the bluegrass to Boston.
Doing about 50 miles a week. Running's the only time where I'm not accessible by anybody else.
Most runners listen to music, but not Josh Nadzum. He only listens to what's in his head.
I can think about my day, I can think about my life, I can think about goals that I have as a person.
And he's got a lot of them. His latest goal, bringing him here to Greenhouse 17. It's a group dedicated to serving survivors of intimate partner violence.
We are an organization that works really hard to meet people where they are and find strengths, not just in survivors, but in their children and their families, as well as the community that's here to support.
For Josh, it's a cause that hits close to home.
One of my earliest memories was my father abusing my mother. I can remember my mother pleading with me between gasped breaths to call 911 when he was choking her up against a wall, and I was 5.
He couldn't do much then, but he's dedicated to doing it now.
Bluegrass to Boston for survivors.
Come April 15th, he'll be running in the Boston Marathon. He's started a campaign to raise money for the race, hoping to give Greenhouse 17 $2,040.
It's $2 for every day that a survivor of intimate partner abuse will spend in the shelter in April.
It's welcome news, but not surprising.
This is so Josh, right? Always thinking of others, always finding a way to build a community.
Leaders here are basically working around the clock, making changes to the building. This money could do some good.
We're going to have a new adult children's area and space, so I think this would be a perfect opportunity.
The way Josh puts it, it's all coming full circle. He's using his story to help others with theirs.
It'd be cool if like 2,000 people gave $1 each. I think that is a really powerful kind of grassroots thing. So I think every dollar counts, and hopefully people will feel compelled to give.
Because to him, giving is what it's all about.
None of us have to do something about everything, but we all have to do something about something.
Reporting in Lexington, Angela Reigard, WKYT.
As of now, Josh is about halfway to his goal. The NYPD released this video of a man opening fire on a busy street in the Bronx last week. Police say the man fired 3 times, targeting a 19-year-old man before running off. No one was hurt, but plenty of people were terrified. People on the sidewalk, including a little girl, were seen running and ducking for cover. The gunman is wanted for reckless endangerment. The NYPD is hoping someone will recognize him and call in a tip. Meanwhile, a sailboat had a run-in with a barge. It happened yesterday afternoon in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The sailboat's mast struck a railway bridge while floating down the Tarpon River. The incident did not just affect traffic on the water, it also forced first responders to shut down a road nearby. Authorities say one man was injured while working on the mast. He took himself to the hospital where he is being treated for serious injuries.
And good morning. Time now is 6:09. Time to get another look at your forecast. A little bit of that patchy dense fog early this morning along Pine Mountain US 119. So take it slow if you are headed out. if you're headed out this morning, we're seeing those issues really across eastern Kentucky, showing visibility up to 2 miles in London, less than a mile hazard in Jackson, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, and Wise. So definitely take it slow this morning. We'll start to warm up for today. Well, we're only getting to the mid-40s with a 30% chance of those scattered rain chances, and those will continue really throughout the next couple of hours and really into your Friday evening as well. Snow chances are also on the way, along with cooler temperatures. We'll have that and more coming up in just a little bit.
All righty, Paige, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. History is being made at the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We will tell you why straight ahead. And if walking is your means of transportation, you'll want to hear this. We have information on an alarming new report.